Brainwashing is one of the most mysterious and frightening forms of psychological control. When we hear the word, we often think of spies, cults, or secret organizations. But the truth is, brainwashing isn't always about dark rooms or extreme torture. It can be subtle, slow, and invisible. And once you understand the secret psychology behind it, you'll realize that brainwashing techniques are far more common in daily life than you think. At its core, brainwashing is about breaking down someone's independent thinking and replacing it with the beliefs, behaviors, or desires of someone else. It is not done all at once. Instead, it happens step by step, using psychological tactics that bypass rational thinking and directly target emotions, fears, and vulnerabilities. The first stage of brainwashing often begins with isolation. When a person is cut off from familiar support systems like family, friends, or independent media, they become more dependent on the manipulator. Isolation reduces outside influence, leaving only one voice, one perspective, and one source of truth. This is why cult leaders often separate followers from the outside world, and why controlling partners or groups discourage contact with anyone who might now challenge their narrative. The second stage is breaking down the individual's sense of identity. This can be done through exhaustion, confusion, or constant criticism. The manipulator may bombard the person with overwhelming information, repeat certain messages endlessly, or even use sleep deprivation in extreme cases. The goal is to weaken mental defenses and make the person doubt their own judgment. When someone no longer trusts their own thoughts, they become much more open to accepting new beliefs, even ones that once seemed absurd. Then comes the stage of planting new ideas. Once the old identity has been shaken, the manipulator introduces a new way of thinking, often framed as the ultimate truth or the only path to safety, success, or happiness. This message is repeated again and again, in different forms, until it feels familiar and natural. Repetition is one of the strongest psychological tools of brainwashing. When we hear something enough times, our brains start to accept it as true. Even without evidence, emotional manipulation plays a massive role in brainwashing. Fear, guilt, and shame are powerful weapons. A manipulator may convince someone that they are worthless without the group, the leader, or the ideology. They may create a constant sense of danger, suggesting that only obedience and loyalty can provide safety. On the other hand, they also reward small doses of approval, affection, or recognition to reinforce obedience. This mix of punishment and reward creates a psychological dependency. One of the most secret aspects of brainwashing is how it uses social pressure. Humans are wired to seek belonging, and manipulators exploit this need by surrounding someone with others who all believe the same thing. A powerful illusion is created if everyone else agrees. It must be true. This groupthink effect is why cults, extremist movements, and even manipulative workplaces are so effective at shaping minds. No one wants to be the outsider, so individuals conform, even against their own doubts. Another trick is language control. Brainwashing often involves changing the words we use. Certain terms are repeated endlessly, while others are forbidden. By limiting language, manipulators limit thought. If you can't name an idea, it becomes harder to think about it. This technique has been used in political propaganda, religious extremism, and even marketing campaigns. Words shape reality, and controlling language means controlling perception. Over time, brainwashing creates what psychologists call cognitive dissonance. This happens when a person holds two conflicting beliefs. The manipulator pushes them into situations where they must choose loyalty to the group over logic. To reduce the discomfort of dissonance, people often abandon their own beliefs and accept the new ones. The longer this continues, the deeper the conditioning becomes. What makes brainwashing so dangerous is that the victim doesn't usually realize it's happening. The process feels natural, even comforting, because it taps into deep psychological needs. The need to belong, the need for certainty, the need for guidance. By the time someone notices the control, it may feel too late to break free. But here's the truth: no one is completely immune. You may think you're too smart to be brainwashed, but intelligence doesn't guarantee protection. Brainwashing works on emotions, not logic. It works on repetition, not evidence. And it works on fear and hope, the same forces that influence everyone. The good news is, once you understand the secret psychology behind brainwashing, you can recognize the warning signs and protect yourself. If someone is trying to isolate you, constantly undermine your confidence, or bombard you with repetitive messages that discourage critical thinking, be cautious. If a group or individual insists they alone have the truth, and everyone else is wrong, that's a red flag. True freedom means protecting your mind as fiercely as you protect your body. Ask questions, seek multiple perspectives, and never give up your ability to think for yourself. The most powerful shield against brainwashing is awareness. Once you see the tactics, they lose much of their power. Remember, the mind is the most valuable thing you own. Don't hand it over to anyone who seeks to control it. Stay informed, stay critical, and protect your mental independence. If this video gave you insight, give it a like and share it so others can understand how brainwashing really works. And don't forget to subscribe, where we reveal the hidden tactics of manipulation and teach you how to defend yourself against them. Subscribe now and join a community that values awareness, strength, and freedom of thought.